that you have with it being off is...
Okay, I should try that out.
Yeah, but I mean, unless you're changing a tempo drastically of the song, it's not going to affect the pitch. Because you'll have warp on, it'll preserve the pitch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone doesn't have all these other things.
It does have. It's not called warp, yeah. It's called when you slice to tempo or whatever. You know, when you time stretch, yeah.
On the playlist, right?
Yeah. You're not making like sidetrons or techno, so you don't need to be technically perfect. Yeah. Too simple. Yeah. So my first thing I would say is always try and get your main lead takes onto one channel.
Yeah.
So do a bit of like arrangement in terms of like, what do you call it? Session planning. You know, so you're not actually doing any sound thing. You're just making sure that your lead is all on one. So like you're not kind of, you don't have a chorus and like your lead chorus there and then a verse there. Just put it on one.
Yeah.
Unless the chorus is sung very differently. Then what you can do is create a bus channel. So basically send all your vocals into one channel. Yeah.
See grouping and stuff?
Yeah.
Bus and stuff? The only problem with that is, okay, and it's a problem for me.
Yeah.
But okay, for example, because of our recording conditions, right?
Mm.
We can have a whole bunch of, so these are just mumbles or whatever.
Yeah, so
right?
that's SFX, not vocals.
Yes, and then we have vocals, but there's
Yeah.
like different levels of noise and small little things that I have to get rid of in all the individual things. For example, there's tracks that have probably like 30 something individual mix inserts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So how do I group? Let's say if I wanted to group 1 to 5, but all of them had individual problems I want to fix before I bring
So
them
you fix them on the channel.
on the individual channel.
Yeah, so that they arriving at the bus channel kind of fixed.
But okay.
Yeah.
Then my question becomes, is that not? Am I using more CPU by then going individually into all those tracks and still sending all of those to a bus?
It depends what, like, so the adding and routing is probably not what the CPU is. It's probably how much, like what you got on each channel. So if you got like heavy CPU using kind of VSTs or effects, then yes, it will ramp up the thing. But if you are having problems with CPU, then work on one channel. Once you've fixed it, print it to audio, so that you know, like always keep a backup, like save a second project so you've got the original files, but then process it and bring it back into the project process, so that eventually when you've got all of these, they're literally just going to be audio. There's actually going to be no effects on them because they're printed already, you know. And then so what I normally do is I don't mix in the sessions that I write in, so I print it all out and bring it back in. So that I don't have all the plugins there and then the mixing and mastering plugins.
Yeah, we do the exact same thing too.
Yeah, so you guys are on the money anyway. You did go to my class, didn't you? But yeah, I mean, for this kind of stuff and what I did for, like, you know, obviously if you need to go back in, but initially what you should do is set up all your bus channels and send like, so drum bus, synth bus, bass bus, vocal bus.
Yeah.
And then do your processing on the buses. So like put a compressor on the vocal bus and EQ, and then compress your drum bus a bit. You know, and then you will start because essentially what I've learned is that if more often than not, if the recordings are reasonably okay, you can get away with it. So it saves you a shitload of time, because sometimes what you do is you're doing individual channels and you start with all the little things, and then you get to the group channel, and more often than not you could have just thrown it in the group channel, done a bit of editing on the group channel, and it would have been fine anyway. So rather discover that you have problems after the fact. So set up the channel to groups immediately. I'll do that. I'll arrange when I get separates for a mix. I'll arrange like the names. That's why it has to be names. But I'll arrange it and group it before I even press play. Like I'm not even listening to it. I'm just getting it like that. And then I look at and then I set the volumes of the bus channels to kind of be a general mix. And then I will hear, like, because you'll have compressors and stuff, so it'll bring out any problems. And then you can go back in and find which channel's being naughty.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So
I think it goes back to what you're saying. It's like the first rule is if the vocals as you get them are in immaculate condition, then all you have to do is just levels.
Yeah, volume.
Literally.
Yeah, and a bit of compression. You know, you want to always put a bit of compression on the bus to kind of bind, like, both the drums and the vocals, just to bind all the vocals together.
Okay, can I just ask you something on that, okay?
Yeah.
So, for example, okay, I don't have any groups or anything. It's a very simple song.
Okay.
But for example, let's say if I had these, right, and I put an EQ on here and EQ on here just to get rid of small things before it gets to the bus.
Yeah.
And I put a compressor on the bus.
So it will work against you a little bit. But not in the way that you think it will. Like, so often it sounds like you throw a compressor back on and it kind of undoes your work a bit. But what it's doing is that it's just making a much more, like, detailed picture of what you've done with the EQ.
Yeah.
So in your ears might hear like the bass has come back, but it's actually just emphasizing the little bit of bass that was left over.
Yeah.
So it's, for all intents and purposes, it will work against you. So I will EQ, compress on each channel. Sometimes not, actually. I'll just put an EQ on each channel just to cut the lows so we don't get too much build up of like low end. And because then you have to do a big cut on the group. So I do those kind of cuts on the channel. Then I throw a compressor on the group and an EQ after that just to kind of tailor the overall sound again. I do that with the knowledge that the compressor will work against some of the EQing and leveling.
Yeah. But what if you have like 10 vocals and you put them into a group, the only compression you have is coming from the bass. How does the EQ affect all of those vocals at the same, like affect them all the same? And of course in some of those vocals maybe are you already fixing individual levels for all those vocals?
Yeah, so you want to do a volume check before you compress anything on a bus. So turn everything off the bus, make sure everything's balanced with the volume levels, and then put a compressor on. Because what compressors will do is, especially with volume, is they will hide stuff that's too high in the mix. And like I used to mix, and I still do because it is kind of, you know, half the sound is in the master. But I always turn my master chain off and have a listen to my mix to see what I've done wrong, because inevitably my chain is designed to sort out very high kick drums. So what I do is then every time I turn off that chain, I'm like, sure, my kick drum's high and I've got to bring it back down in the mix. So it will work against. So do your volumes stuff first.
Yeah.
You know. Technically, what I would do is do volumes first and then do the grouping, because then your kind of volumes are set to go into the group. But you can do it either way.
I think it's also a thing, you know, Kev, there's like certain things that you go to school for, and certain things that on the way, even if you do go to school for it, you kind of sort of figure out a way for things to work for you, right? So for example, our biggest problem is noise. This project I put up over here, actually probably the best raw recording we've ever gotten ever.
Where are you guys recording?
We're recording in like everywhere actually.
Everywhere.
Okay.
The majority of the songs.
So what kind of noise? Is it like a electrical buzz or is it background noise?
Yeah, it'll be the electric most of the time. It's like stuff like that.
It's probably our wires and our system and everything. But it's also background noise too, because our mic.
Is that the? Is it a phantom powered? The mic.
Yes, it is. We don't have the interface that we normally use here. That's the
I have the interface with me.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
I could see one. I mean, so the buzz is it on the mic? Is it maybe the mic that's giving the buzz?
I don't actually think so. I think it might be the cabling, because it doesn't do it consistently. It'll be like maybe one day, and then one day is fine.
It could be your fridge. When your fridge is running, so the fridge is not all, you know, it's not always on, but sometimes it'll turn itself on. And that, I know from events, fridges are the number one, like, trippers. And the thing is, like, it's not the fridge. And you're like, well, the fridge is on a thermostat. So at the moment, it's not actually doing its refrigeration. And then as it clicks over to, you know, cool. So it could be that. But it all depends on, do you have an example of the noise?
Do you have a record?
Because it might be a case that if it's consistently the same noise every time, then you can kind of use a noise cancellation from it.
I'm trying to think of an extreme example, like something you can actually
Because I didn't notice too, like, bad noise in your takes when you...
Because I think the ones you got were mainly done in Stellenbosch.
Right.
So I'm trying to think now, I'm trying to like think the location of the recordings.
Yeah, it also
Stellenbosch and Rondebosch.
Because usually, like, more of a hiss is a problem with the mic or the cabling.
Let me check if I
It could also be that, because the Mac in Bridges has a problem with the audio card. It gives it, like, and it's obviously to do with there's interference coming from the computer that's giving it a buzz, not like anything else. And I'm like, well, this is it's like one of the best sound cards in the world. Yeah, so, and there's Mac fucking it up. Have you ever used Reaper?
Reaper, I've heard of it now, but I haven't used it.
You should try it out.
What is it?
It's a production program.
Like you produce on it, or?
Yeah. It's no, I mean it's very kind of, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. If you're nerdy with programs, you're gonna love it. You can do anything with it. Like,
I'm so apprehensive.
Anything.
I'm so apprehensive to try and like work on a new DAW though.
Well, that's
especially for production. I feel like for mixing and stuff, I definitely go to Ableton and Pro Tools.
But you must check out Reaper because it's like basically FL on crack, FL and Ableton on steroids. But you know, like, so you can decide how it looks as well. So you can kind of program it so like if you want one channel to kind of show different lanes and options, you can kind of set it so that that channel like
customize it to your style.
Yeah, dude, I used it. We had to do a 19.6 surround mix, and it's the only program that can handle that many, surround sound. Because other programs you have to get like special software and stuff. Okay, so let's have a listen.
I'm inspired by the streets.
Shout out to all my niggas.
Yeah. Proud of me, I think I'm proud of me, using the bottom me, rapping.
What is this? Like CV, this is not a good example, bro.
Well, let's see.
This one is
Proud of me, I think I'm proud of me, on the mic.
Wait, I actually have a song.
You have some silence in between it.
Niggas lose their hunger on the beat when the fame grows. Donna Yasekasi came with heat like a flame.
I just want to hear that last, because that last.
Why they way lower?
That's ambient, city ambience.
So is okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't like using gates, but do you think a gate would work in a?
I don't
like gates either.
It's not going to kill the noise over his voice. It's only going to kill the noise in between. So if you're going to do that, you may as well rather go in and cut.
Yeah, because there's not much.
Well, with a gate, unless you get your attack and release, you might cut off some of the ending T's or, you know.
Oh, well, that's why I don't like using.
No, that would be a noise cancellation.
Yeah.
VST.
Inspired by the streets.
I have one. Though.
I'm not a rapper. I'm a poet.
It's one from Waves. It's the NS one.
Yeah, have you got it? Put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got the X noise? Which waves have you got? Have you got like you do. You've got the Mercury plugin bundle.
Yeah.
Try it. But then have a look for X noise. Yeah, we want X noise. See if you can find it. Or Z noise. If you've got CLA vocals, bro. Yeah.
X noise.
Yeah, let's do X noise. Is it a stereo? So what you do basically, with these you find, so you must leave a bit of silence so that we can hear it, so with a fuzz. Where would we find some here, huh?
Yeah, I think at the end of this vocal.
Okay, can you drive there and just make a small loop so that it loops that? Is there maybe some there, right? Go back. It might have more in between.